I just like to believe there's like something besides us right now. In my opinion, like something that made this universe, but also I think it's a kind of neutral force.
I think it's not necessarily good, but it's not necessarily bad. I don't think that the upper power should be the one deciding like if we're good or bad, because they don't have the human experience that we all do.
So what do you think, like when you stand before God, do you think you're gonna be guilty or not guilty?
I have no idea and I don't care.
I think I would do pretty good.
I think our purpose in life is to just exist and let other people exist.
Okay.
Do no harm, but also don't take any harm from anybody else.
Yeah. Okay. How about you? Something?
I don't believe there's this, like, you're born with a purpose. Like, it's your goal, what you want to do with your life. So, like, for example, if you wanted to be a doctor, then your purpose would be to be a doctor.
Okay. That's a good point, because my next question would be like, the purpose, right? Is this something like already out there, you just find out, you discover that purpose? Or is this something that is just based on what you want? Like, it's like based on you, right? If you want to be a doctor, you're a doctor. You want to be like a nurse, you're a nurse. So it's like, so from your standpoint, it's like, it's more about you. You decide what your purpose is.
Yeah.
How about you? You feel like you discover your purpose, or it's like, it's already out there, you just need to discover your purpose?
I think it can be a mixture of both. It just depends on the person. Because like someone might discover their purpose because they didn't know that they could be that, but like on the other hand, you could have all the tools and already know your purpose, I suppose.
Yeah. My issue with the fact that you create your own purpose is there are certain people, right? They can be like, they like to steal. I'm like, stealing is my purpose. And you know that that's wrong. That's not your purpose, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, if you just say like, it's just based on what you decide, you can make wrong decision and be like, that's what I'm calling to do. Compared to the fact like, okay, there's a beautiful purpose for every single one. It's just out there. I just need to figure out what is that purpose. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how do you reconcile both together? Like the fact that if it's just about you, many people will be like, well, I like to lie. That's my purpose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how do you put both together?
I would say like the law also plays a factor. So like stealing is illegal. So your purpose probably shouldn't be stealing because you would go to jail hypothetically.
Yeah.
But I think your purpose. I think there's like purposes like community, like just like that you're born with, just like help out and be a decent person, and then your own purpose personally.
Personally. Okay,
Yeah.
that's tough. You have anything to say about that?
I think purpose should also align with like, if it hurts somebody, don't do it.
Okay. All right, so that's good. Now, what do you think about afterlife? Like when you die? Have you guys been thinking about that? Like, what happens?
I like humoring myself that like maybe we'll all just like be ghosts.
Like spirits.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
I'm not sure myself. I like mostly believe there's like something up there. I'm not sure what exactly it is, and I personally, I don't want to. I personally don't want to assign a label to it because I feel like it's something that humans can't understand because it's just the universe is so big.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just like to believe there's like something besides us right now.
That's fair to say, because I talk to many people and they say like there's like a higher power, but they don't know like who's our higher power, right? There's something there, but I don't know who's our higher power. And I also feel like there's actually God out there. I feel like that God is loving. Do you believe like if it's a higher power, it should be like loving?
I think it would be neutral because there are good things in this world, but there's also bad, and like there's like childhood sickness and everything, and it's like I don't know, like I think like overall it's good that we have like, in my opinion, like something that made this universe, but also I think it's a kind of neutral force because we still have like war and illness.
Bad going on. That's a good point. How about you? What do you think about that?
I think too that it's a neutral force. I think it's not necessarily good, but it's not necessarily bad.
So you mentioned about like bad people, like someone like Hitler, right? He killed like millions of people. So do you believe you believe in justice, right? Like judgment should happen, right? Like good and bad. So do you think like that a higher power should actually judge like bad people?
A higher power, like say you die and then like you have a judgment.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. It's complicated because everybody has their own morals, but like I think there should be a
Standard
judgment. I guess I think there would be a judgment but also I don't know, because I'm not really sure what my beliefs are myself.
Okay.
So
How about you?
I don't think that the upper power should be the one deciding like if we're good or bad, because they don't have the human experience that we all do. Where like somebody might be like a huge thief, but maybe they're also trying to provide for their family. This person may have done this, but they also did it for a reason. An upper power may not understand that. Therefore, I don't think that it should judge us.
Okay. If you talk about higher power, it means like he knows everything. He can understand what you're going through, right? But you mentioned about morality. So where do we think that as human being, right, our morality comes from? Like how do you discern like what is wrong from what is right? Like do you think like it's based on the law? You talk about the law, or do you think like it's based on you, or do you feel like it's like, do you think like it's relative to people? Like how do you like, where is that coming from? What's your like basics or reference for morality?
Well, I don't think the law is the ultimate decider, because you take a look at some laws and they can be pretty harmful. So I think it's dials down to like, would this hurt another human being, you know? And like everybody has their own beliefs, but I think like the main belief is just not to cause harm, and that should be like the baseline, I guess.
Okay, how about you?
I do too. I think that our morality should be based off if this hurts somebody, and if this is actively hurting somebody and taking away from others, then you should not do it.
I like that, because I talk to many people that feel like sometimes morality is just based on you, which I don't really think is correct, because some people can be like, I like to steal, and they say that's, for me, it's good. And everyone knows that you're hurting someone else. Actually, that's wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's like a set of absolute morality. Like everyone knows that you're not supposed to do that. You shouldn't do that. So I agree on that. So that doesn't come from human being. It doesn't come from me. It doesn't come from you. I feel like it's human being cannot like put that together.
Yeah.
So it's like a mind before the human mind that actually like set these standards already, and then you have like a moral compass that point to these standards and actually point to God. So if he had this set of laws that are already set, right? Like, okay, you shouldn't be killing, shouldn't be stealing, you shouldn't be lying. All these, you mentioned circumstances, yes, that happen. I feel like God will know about that. So now, God is just, right? He has to judge sin. So I believe that when we die, we're going to be accountable for our actions.
Okay.
Like, you cannot just do whatever you want and be like, you know what? Oh, nothing will happen. I feel like there's accountability. Even here on earth, right? When someone breaks the law, like there's a court, right?
Yeah.
And then they go to court and then there's a judgment. I think God will also do the same thing.
Okay.
So the question I have for you is, so what would you think like when you face God, right? Do you feel like when he judges you according to his law and the morality you mentioned, do you feel like you're going to be like guilty or non-guilty?
Sorry, can you repeat the last part?
So when you die, right, and then there's a judgment that God judges you based on the standard of morality or his laws, right? Do you think that you're going to be guilty or non-guilty? Like, what do you think the verdict should be, like, would be?
Like my verdict?
Like God's verdict when he judges you based on your action right now.
My actions right now, I think I would do pretty good. I don't know. But I, like what they said, like a higher being doesn't really have the human experience, so it, like, hypothetically, like it would be this all-knowing embodiment of everything, but also it wouldn't be our experience, so there would be some sort of disconnect.
Okay. But you're still gonna be like, there will be still a judgment, right? Even though, well, there's certain circumstances, I agree, but I think judgment is still gonna be there.
Yeah, I think if we're going by this version of the afterlife, there would be some sort of judgment.
Yeah, because people live on Earth here, right? They're not being judged fully. Like Hitler, if you kill like millions of people, I mean, you expect the judgment. Like if there's God and all these people die, I mean, I want judgment to happen.
Yeah.
Like people who suffer, the families, they want judgment to happen. So what do you think, like when you stand before God, you think you're gonna be guilty or not guilty?
I have no idea and I don't care. I think I try to live my life to be a decent person. I try to do things for others, but I also try to keep my weight on the world to be neutral. So I really don't care where this hypothetical being puts me at, because I know I try to be a good person.
Okay. So for me, I feel like we are trying to be good persons, right? But we fail a lot. Do you agree? We fail many times. We try our best. One day we can be good, and the next day, like, we fall short a lot. So this standard that you're talking about, like God's standard, I think every single one will fail.
Yeah.
Every single one. We can't be perfect. You're not perfect. Like you're broken people. We are trying our best actually to be like good people. But at the same time, I mentioned that God is loving. So he doesn't want to put everyone to hell. He doesn't want that. He's loving. But he did something to solve the issue of sin, because if you look around you, the whole world, like wars, like people who are hungry, all this bad thing happening is because of sin.
Okay.
That's like the DNA of all these issues. But God did something. I have a quick story for you, right? Like there was a king in India. He had a kingdom, right? And people were stealing a lot.
Yeah.
So he passed a law, like whoever steals, right, you receive 100 lashes. The crime went down. But one day they caught someone. They caught his mom. She stole something. So what do you think the king did? Do you think he gave her a pass, or do you think she got punished?
Knowing how royal families tend to be, I would say the king gave his mother a pass. Not that that's right, but that just tends to be how history is.
Yeah, royal families, they really like each other. They'd give each other passes.
Okay, good answers. But the thing is, the king has to be just. If he give her a pass, or the people who receive 100 lashes, they will complain. They'll be like, no, you're not being fair. How about us, right? So it was hard for him. Justice had to happen. Punishment needed to happen. So his mom received 100 lashes. But at the second one, it was too painful for him. It was like, stop, no more. He went down. He took her place. So he received 98 lashes. Justice was served, right? Punishment happened. So he took her place. So why are you not sure about that? Do you think like there was no justice there?
There was justice, but he is the one receiving the punishment, not the mother. So it's justice happening, just not to the person who did the crime.
Yeah. You know, like there was a story in the US, right, where I think someone was supposed to go to war. They did like drafting, and he didn't want to go to war, so he went to court. And someone else decided to take his place. So they let that person go, and the person that took his place went to war. So he was actually he didn't have to. So sometimes you can have that swapping or like that change of person. So, I'm saying that why? Because God did the same thing for us. He didn't want him to go to hell. He didn't want you. He didn't want you. So what he did was he sent his son Jesus Christ on earth. He lived with us. He experienced what we experienced. He was tempted in many ways, so he knew what it is to be a human being. But he had never sinned. He was perfect. He didn't deserve to die. That's the reason why he was crucified on the cross. He wasn't supposed to. He died because of us. He took our punishment. So there was like a change, like a swap. So my punishment, your punishment, he gave that on the cross. So he died, and then he was resurrected. And he said to the disciple, guys, you know what? Go and share the good news. People don't have to go to hell. They don't have to live in sin, in guilt, in shame, in condemnation, because he paid the price. But God doesn't force people. He has given us free will, right? You can do whatever you want. Even to go to heaven doesn't force you. So now he wants us to repent from our sin, to turn away, because no one is perfect. Move away from our sin and put our faith in Jesus Christ, and to live in Jesus Christ. Does it make sense what I said?
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Does it make sense? Yeah. So now the question I have for you is, or something to think about is, are you ready to repent, turn away, and put your faith in Jesus Christ? I think that will be the most important decision in your life. To actually move away from your sin and accept that eternal gift because now you have access to heaven. When you go there, when you want to be judged, when God will judge you, someone else has paid the price for your sin because you're not perfect. And that person, or Jesus Christ, he was perfect and he died for you. Does it make sense?
That does make sense.
Okay. Do you guys have any question for me?
No.
Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. I really like this conversation. I hope you were blessed. Don't forget to like and subscribe so many other people can be blessed.